And then on their T side, they do a great job trading early on when they're gaining map control before their execution. I mean, they're going to get that pick or they're going to trade it. So I think that's kind of the two areas where they have the most superiority over North American teams at the moment.
Well, we'll find out what side they're going to start. I was about to say it looked like Keydstars, but now it looks like all Method. 1-on-3, low HP, but nothing they can do. So we will see Keydstars' execution come into scrutiny right away. But again, they are up against Method. Method's going to be the one that actually has more pressure on them and more scrutiny to be served their way because they've got a big ask to stop this. And we'll see. I mean, even if they can get a good start with the pistol round and buy themselves, it sounds weird to say that the pistol round to buy yourself space on a CT side, but I think that's really the case, is that Method are going to have to get this pistol to give themselves a chance. I could be wrong.
Well, remember, Mousepad got the pistol as well, and they got immediately eco'd. So even if you win the pistol, you're not necessarily safe.
Yeah, that's true. It is CSGO. It is CS Global Eco. CSG? Does that work?
I get it.
Strebber.
Sure. Oh.
He gets it too. He gets Steel's head with the USP. 1 bullet fired in the match and 1 kill already up.
And that's huge, because he's the only player at that B bomb site, so he gets that quick and he's able to fall back, and I mean, Keydstars, they slow down the aggression after that. So he's playing behind his smoke, and he's got another one to work with. That was actually thrown from Rap side, so nicely done by Method so far.
The timing of it was impeccable too, because typically when he falls back, that's when you drop your own smoke, but it landed at the exact moment he would have had to do that. Now he uses his own. So that was really well played by Method. And now it's going to be Ellie's turn, or Ely's turn. I always mess up his name as well. Either way, he gets it. And there we go again. The USP is taking the heads off of Keydstars players right now, and it's EQK to drop next. Smokes to go in, though. They are going to flash. That smoke goes really far on Barbecue. It missed entirely on the CT spawn. So now Boltz knows it. He has to take the fight. Fallen, he does take down Ely, and now it gives Fur a chance to walk inside. He was waiting for that to happen, and Strebber's going to get dropped. Robert's out of the play, 3-on-3. Fur's going to go all the way through construction. Silent has no idea he's coming, but he can't connect the shot, so Silent has a chance to turn back over. That nade does do damage, and Silent still hasn't found it, so we do remain 3-on-3. His main line, he'll come on the flank from Banana. Bolts through the crap, through the gap. At the quad box, manages to find one, and first sliding out, he'll take down main line before he even gets a chance to really make a case on that flank. So, well done from Keydstars, but it could have been hairy when they lost 2 players early, and that smoke missing. That should have been capitalized by Method.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think I'd say well done by Keydstars there. I'd say poorly done by Method. I mean, the smoke missed. They had all the advantage in the world. 1 player in CT spawn, 1 player at those triple boxes and B, and basically it was a 3-on-5. I mean, the first 2 picks went Method's way, and they lost every gunfight from there on. I mean, that just was just poorly done with such a huge advantage in a pistol round.
Boost going up at the top of mid on the left behind the pillar. And main line is going to be the one that's above. Silent peeking through the bedroom wall. The glory hole to try and get a wonderful shot on the balcony, but no one was coming up in that direction, or the person that was spotted at least fell right back. Strebber opens it, and mainline's not spotted, so the Deagle over the edge of the smoke catches Falling completely by surprise. And Steel's now going to go ahead and rush back, try and get some apartment control as they are 2 men down. Oh, and oh, that's massive. Keydstars, that's a meltdown. We don't see that kind of stuff from them. As 1 player inside and the other, they're both in panic. You can see the rush and the urgency from both of them. And ZQK fires a little bit hesitantly.
It was a reflexive shot. The other player shot first, and the other one just tapped right back out of a little bit of a reflex or reaction. Now it's all on Fur.
Well, you said that it was Keydstars that got the eco on overpass. This time it's looking like Method are in position to do that. As Fur, with only 11 HP and a Tech 9, he's going to fall back. He actually does have a Mac 10 as well. But he's going to have to fall all the way back down. And the bomb, look at Ely. He's just checking out, making sure no one's coming for it.
It almost looks like Fur kind of wants to save this.
Weird. Interesting call. He definitely looks that way. Well, there's only 18 seconds, so the chances of winning it against 4 is pretty slim. He does have a slight investment in the MP7, so I guess it makes sense, but it is weird.
No, he didn't invest anything. He's got the armor, but that's picked up off a teammate. He only had a Tech 9 from the pistol round. He's got 2600.
That's true. That is true. He didn't buy it yourself.
So I mean, even with the bonus on the rest of the players, this will put him a little bit even in terms of money, so he's not really necessarily losing anything.
It is weird to see it in a second round say. I mean, I guess the debate is, does it even it up with his teammates? He can now drop that over, get another SMG if he wanted himself. Or is it simply, do you think he should have gone after kills to hurt the economy more from Method if the chance existed?
I don't know. I don't think it really punished him because he was so far ahead in money than the rest of his teammates, but they're not doing anything with it. It's kind of interesting. He had over 2,700. He could have bought an AK-47, but instead they're all going to go pistols. They have that Mac 10 left over still.
Keep in mind he keeps the nades in the armor, so
Yep.
we'll see if they can execute with it. They're known for it. They do actually have 3 Molotovs, by the way, but look at that damage taken down mid. Fur gets domed. 3 Molotovs, though. We'll see if they can use them on B. The problem is one of the Molotov players is Fur, and he's on the low HP, so he's going to have to be careful as they claw their way into Banana if that's the play they go for, because even one nade coming out could take him down. And Method, I'm pretty sure, would have the call that they hit. That was definitely a loud dink.
Yeah, oh yeah, they know it. Now they're going to group up over towards B. The first smoke's going to go down about 105. And they chain these smokes together really well in the pistol round. That's kind of what held Keatstars off for so long, just 2 smokes just there. So they have good coordination on that. One more smoke over here in this B bomb site.
This is going to be the bounce, so watch for the skybox. They're already setting up for it. Bolts. CQK. We'll see if it roasts anyone alive. It should actually, based on the positioning of Justin, force him out. Smokes go over, and now the Molotovs land. Justin realizes that he runs for quad. It's on fire as well, but there is a gap at second oranges, so he has a bit of space to work. Doesn't matter. They're already going to take him down. Steel on the way through. Strebber fell before that, and that's what Keatstars is famous for. They might take a lot of time sometimes in the round and let time expire, but when they execute so goddamn fast, and now there's 2 smokes out. Eatley's got no line of sight back into this bomb planted situation where Bolts waits in behind quad. He does have the only rifle right now, so he'll take the long shots towards CT. He realizes there's 3 players there. High flash coming over from Silent, but I think Method suddenly realized they're the ones that have to save, so we'll go back-to-back right now and split the difference, make it 2-1 now for Keatstars. At least it's looking that way, and it's definitely going to be that way as Silent goes down.
Yeah, and Method had no way of knowing this, but the HP was actually pretty weak on Keatstars. That could have been a retake, but none of them had a kit. So even if they went in, they just wouldn't have had time for the defuse. And, I mean, enough of them had money that were alive for a kit there, but unfortunately not picking one up, and they can't even go for it. So we go back and forth in these first 3 rounds. 1 Colt saved by mainline, and M4 silenced. But a lot of weapons salvaged by Keatstars there. So nicely done from them. And that saved Molotov on the hands of Fur from the round before came into play very, very huge. A nice execute with those Molotovs.
We had no surprise. When you see 3 Molotovs on them on this map,
Yep.
It's pretty clear. This time they have Molotovs again, but where they just did that play, they're on an eco. It doesn't necessarily indicate they'll have to use them. In fact, they could go through the round and try and just hold on to them. Because really already they're peeking top mid.
Yeah, really heavy hull stack with this M4 as well on mainline. He's just peering down 3 members in hulls. That's going to leave the wrap side completely open. And this could be interesting because Keatstars might think that they're going to get this site for free, and that could be a very quick flank down hulls for these Method players.
Exactly. This is the VP tactic. Get really aggressive, play for a retake, but also cover off the early aggression and get the control of the apartment. Because now post-plant gets a lot harder, and it can be used in their favor to peek back out. So long as they can control pit. Bolts is going to push all the way through CT. He might catch... Oh, does he? Okay, he does hear them. He comes back the other way. I was going to say he might not catch Strebber, but he gets them both in the end, and now it's looking really good. Silent. He may be in the halls still. He could actually grab this M4, but I don't think he's going to do much more than that. He might get this M4 and get away because they'll have thought they got that A site for free because even afterwards they didn't spot them up aside from that 1 kill they got on the doorway. So they won't expect him to be here. And that's going to be the case.
Yep. So he will get this. He will get this M4. Unless ZQK. Oh, so the position's given up, but there's no one close. As long as he's back into first crosshair, that'd be unfortunate. But he is going to save that M4. So good for him. And this could be a force buy situation for Method actually.
I don't think they're going to go for it. They could. They're actually in a reasonable situation to do it. Would they have that 1 M4 on side? Okay, they do. They do it late, and they're going to bring it out. Actually, it's going to be pistols. Interesting. Because Strebber was in a position where he could have brought out a full M4 in armor.
Yeah, that's a buying call though. If they force buy and lose that round, their economy is never really going to get straightened out. They'd have to double save at some point, or else it would always be a force buy throughout the rest of the half. So that's kind of it's probably the motivation behind it. But this is going to give Keatstars a very real possibility of getting up to 4 rounds very, very fast.
Well, this time the hallway control goes to Keatstars. There's no TK, so Fur is able to pop out and take down Elite. And then underneath the patio, it's mainline next to go. Justin, he can't do anything to Fallen. Actually, I take that back. He gets Fallen, but he goes down on the trade. It's Strebber that gets the only other kill so far for Method. It means he's in a 1-on-3. Simple math. ZQK, he waits. For whatever reason, I think he must have spotted him coming back down to get in that position behind the pillar. He just waits and holds the angle, and Keatstars now have 4.
And a lot of economy behind it as well. So much money built up in the bank in those first 3 rounds. Elite picks up his AWP, so it's going to be him versus ZQK. Should say the last time Keystars played on this map, it was Fallen, I believe, with 26 kills. He led the way for them. So we'll have to see what he's got in store for us this time around.
Well, keep in mind, by the way, we talked about move-up teams. Method was the only team that came up out of the main division. All the rest came up from Premier, so this is a big step for them this season. And again, they've had close matches, but here, so far, looking outclassed from Keystars. Strebber, though, he will take down Fallen. And the smoke, Molotov, everything else to hold them outside the site.
Yeah, the bomb went through, so they're stuck in water. They molly out Justin behind the triple boxes. He gets taken out. Just one left. That's Strebber. He does find one, but he gets traded immediately as well. So very aggressive from Keystars, trading very, very efficiently.
They need to find these early picks to shut down Keystars, because that way the execution's a lot weaker when it does come in with this swift fashion. They have got it in a good situation. Now, though, Steel's going to get caught by mainline. Ely, he goes down, or rather takes back ZQK, and mainline he's going to catch first, so the retake is completely flawless from Method. They don't lose a single player in the 3-on-3 post plant, and the defuse comes in. That's their second round, and that was on their next buy, so that's why you said they saved, and they have guns in this one. Keystars, though, they're still going to have a lot of money to work with. This may still take yet another round after this to break them.
Yeah, especially if they get another plant coming into here. But either way, Method off to a good start there in that first gun round. It just took so long to get to it, a first full gun round. And nothing really out of this AWP. I mean, neither of them were really too aggressive. And that's a window we should look for Keystars to exploit. They just walked up to B and they noticed that Method's trying to hold their smoke till about 1 minute as is normal. And they thought they could find that window where they could hit the bomb site before it gets smoked off. It almost actually worked for them. They did lose one. And here's a pop flash from Strebber. He peeks. He doesn't see anyone, but he knows they're there. Just fell back blind. And ZQK takes out the op on rap side of Elite.
ZQK gets the early pick again. I mean, that's the problem. Method, they need to find a way to shut down Keed early, because the more map control they give up, we'd see what Keed can do with it. That smoke out at the top of Banana does limit Bolts' vision, but he's just going to sit there and make a whole lot of noise. And look what it's doing. It's actually pulled Method back to a passive position on A. It looked like Silent was going to go to a rotate. He thinks better of it, but it's definitely holding Strebber inside the B site. And yeah, here comes Silent. He's actually slowly going... Wow, that one smoke on the CT connector pulls Silent back to the speedway.
Yeah, so incredibly nervous to give up too much room and wants to get a jump on the rotate in a 4-on-5. So now they're just going to be split. And Silent, he picks up the AWP that Elite dropped, and he's going to take up positioning. He's going to be watching rap side. He's going to be caught out in the open, kind of. And you look, there's the rotator from B who cheats over into CT spawn, so they don't have a good read, so they're just gambling. And it's the correct gamble at the time.
Mainline, he's inside pit, overlooked, hasn't been spotted, but he can't land the shot, and somehow ZQK manages to get back in before any damage is done, so Fur will take Silent. This will allow the bomb to go down. 608. Put it in position. Strebber, though, he'll find Bolts. This makes the retake slightly possible, but no, they're not even going to go for it. It's 4-on-2.
I mean, this is a team, this Keystars team, if they get that pick, I mean, you can't play that passive against them. You can't give them that much space to execute with. You have to find the information. You have to, group up with a teammate. They were trying to cheat some rotations, but still it was very individual, isolated play out of the defense. They've got to find some way to work together and get the information and find some kills. And now here's the hunt. Strebber's going to go down, so it's just Justin in the back of the bomb site.
And they do find him. So that'll take the gun away from him as well. Keystars now on 5, and although it wasn't a full money bonus, it was only 3 rounds, but we'd seen that they'd already had to save. It was starting to build. This resets it, and that little bit would have helped because they are in a position right now.
No, they can't even force Smite if they wanted to.
But they could have. They would have anyway. They would have potentially. I guess. I mean, it's a numbers thing. You obviously want to get that second round on the board, but this does actually put them right back onto it, despite the reset of 3 rounds. So, because they were close enough that even the slight money bonus would have helped them there. I guess is the point I'm making. Irrelevant point. I retract that. Retract that statement.
I'll allow it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We're in like a courtroom drama. The big stack over at the B bomb site for Method, and a 1B from Silent opens things up nicely for them, but Fur's going to trade it off. He's going to equalize, and actually Look at the aggression now, down Banana. It's only going to be ZQK. He gets dinked immediately and taken out, but the call is in. They have the information. Keatstars is going to come up this A bomb site very, very quickly. Actually, two players pushed towards CT spawn. They walked right by Silent. Another one deke. What a round from Silent. Can he get a third one? He can. He's coming big here, and he's put them in a great situation, a 1-on-4.
Huge round from him. Massive. Picks up the AK now as well. And that's the individual skills they're going to have to get. He does eventually bow out, but his job's done. It's up to his teammates to close this out and make his work all for something. Validate his success, and Strebber's in a good spot with the op. He will find Steel lurking back with the bomb in hand. An individual play, it's going to be massive. It has to be massive against Keatstars. That's what's going to give them a chance. So now they've got 3 rounds. Already giving up 5, though, to Keatstars. Again, though, their CT side, specifically in the game they lost against Liquid, was really lacking. So even if they can limit Keatstars, it seems weird, to something like 8 rounds, they still give themselves somewhat of a chance.
Limit them to 8 rounds on T-side Inferno.
I know, isn't that crazy? But it is kind of true on a team like Keatstars.
Well, the first thing they need to do, they need to stabilize the economy. Winning that eco is going to go a long way towards that. But they can't just get broken immediately after winning one like they did previously. So winning that eco, I mean, they salvage a lot of guns there. So you can see 3 players immediately have a good amount of money behind this buy here.
Molotov goes out from Bolt, so they won't be looking to execute onto the site with them because they've only got one other one left. And it's immediately doused by Bolts. It gets him with it. He actually burns Justin down. He doesn't cross back over.
Well, here's the thing. He got Molotov and Flash, so he probably didn't know he was burning it right away, but Fallen just sprayed through the smoke. Bolts is the one that threw the Molotov. Fallen sprayed through the smoke for him to exit out, and Bolts even had a grenade primed for the exit path that he threw just a couple seconds late. So if the spray does damage, the nade finishes him off. Really, really well cleaned out sandbags strategy by Keatstars there.
Bolts now looks to be the next one to come in. They are grouping in Banana, so Keatstars are going to go for a fast execution, but it will be a slight change. Smoked out right now on CT. We can see that from Strebber's perspective. Second one getting dropped in just now, but Silent's going to peek through it, and there's no response. They don't have these Molotovs. Now it's an even deeper smoke, and as they come in, Burgod, he's completely naked. No coverage off on the back of the site, but he still gets the kill. ZQK, that's his second TK of the round, right? Or of the match, excuse me. As he takes down Fallen, Silent's going to catch Fur, and it could be another round where it's costly because that leaves them in a 2-on-2 from what could have been a 3-on-2 right now, trying to get the bomb down. And Mainline knows it. He's going to try and push him, but he gets caught off. He gets so hungry for that kill on the bomb planter that Seal finds him coming in, and now the advantage goes to Keatstars. And ZQK makes up for the kill on his teammate by winning out the round. But ZQK, 2 TKs in one match. He's setting a Shazam right now. I'm sorry. I gotta lay off Shazam this year at some point.
I mean, TKs, they've kind of become his thing, which is unfortunate. But that was just a hectic round from Keatstars from the start. I mean, that's the second time they've taken this B bomb site and been slowed down so much that Method's actually able to get a really nice rotate in to almost prevent the plant with only 7 seconds on the clock. That would have been huge. That could have just been a default win, but instead it does kind of reset and break the economy. Method's on a save here. They have one M4, but the rest are on pistols.
A bit some lack in some Keatstars performance though tonight, I have to say. I mean, that round was a little bit sloppy in their entry. No flash, because they did have it. They didn't have the Molotovs, we mentioned that, but no flash, and that allowed Silent to push through and make things a little closer than you would have expected on that entry. And Justin now, he's going to bring the round back, so the ecos are going well for Method so far, but Bomb is going to go down this time. It's just Strebber and Silent remaining. Strebber's going to get caught by Steel, and now Silent, he's going to have to be extremely loud. 1-on-3. Deagle up. We've seen him get 3 kills with the Deagle already tonight, but it wasn't exactly the situation that he had to pull himself out of. Steel might come out Boiler. He knows he's there. He's heard him 1,000 times, but unfortunately, he would have had to hear him 1,000 more to catch him off as Steel comes out and gets the kill.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely isn't the execution that we're used to seeing out of Keatstars. They are making a couple mistakes, and Method's just not able to capitalize on them, whether it's a missed shot or, a very gambly rotation that puts him out of position. But here's what's crazy. Keatstars has the economy of Method firmly in control on this T side. I mean, they're all about these broken buys at the moment. They did 2 FAMAS here. They do have an AWP and 2 M4s, but 0 kits. They have very light utility as well. Very few flashbangs to utilize throughout this round. And it's just the way Keatstars is execute. Ooh, nice by Silent. They do have a Halls push, and here's Steel. He's going to try and punish it. Mainline peeks out. He gets sprayed down, so now it's just one player. It's Silent in the bedroom, and it's how long until he falls. He is able to get one more. He's actually living quite some time longer. But Keatstars eliminate that stack. Now they're going to get aggressive about the Halls, and they could take this A bomb site. One player in mid That's Elite with this AWP. He's on a timer because he's sitting in front of a smoke.
Immediately gets caught. Fallen does get the kill. Strebber, though, he pushes right back through the smoke unsighted. Bolts had no idea two would be in the same angle that quick in succession. So this brings it back to 2-on-2. There's a lot of close rounds right now, it has to be said, for Method, and they're going to actually take the advantage now in this, as it's ZQK. He's had lots of practice shooting teammates. We'll see if the accuracy pays off, because he's got two Method players this time in his way of victory. The bomb's down in the favor of Strebber right now as well. So all he has to do is hold on the backside of the smoke. But ZQK's getting aggressive in it. If this dissipates and he doesn't readjust his angle to cover it off, okay, he does. Strebber knows that's going to disappear at some point, so he changes from Boiler, but he gets caught. And now he has the bomb and the truck side, pit side of the site, excuse me. So Justin has the job of coming back over. Smoke out. That'll give ZQK even more chance to plant this, but he's on the inside of that box. He knows, okay, he's actually fooled him, because Justin's going to go out to check it, and ZQK realizes it goes for an extremely fast flick, has to be said. Bit of a panic reaction, and the second time it works. What a shot from ZQK, and Justin does go down. Turns out killing teammates is good practice.
That was a very Ketty-esque type play. Smoke that off and jump up on that box in the one-on-one. I mean, that's a shot you either you miss it and you lose just flat out, but nicely done one-on-two from ZQK. And you're right, this is actually much like the overpass match we just watched against Mousebaz. Is Method's getting the kills. They're doing a good amount of damage in these rounds. They just can't finish them off. They're losing all the situationals, and they haven't been able to break the economy really that well. So Keatstar is getting fortunate tonight in two matches where they haven't necessarily looked the sharpest, but they're still winning.
They're going to get the early pick again this round. Strebber's going to drop as well, so Bolts finds 2 on his entry. Loses a lot of HP, but his job's done, and with Fur taking down Silent, the round is pretty much over as well, because it's just mainline that's left. And he does have a scout, but we can't do anything with it. Steel got down to 2 HP, actually, so we almost did, but again, it's Keatstars. Now they have those 9 rounds. Again, like I said, hold them to 8. It's a thing you have to say against this
Too bad.
side.
Too bad, but this is going to be... I mean, now Method's at the point where they just have to pretty much buy out every round. They can't afford to give this many. I mean, they've already given up far too much, obviously, but they've got to stop it here. Once again, 1 kit. They do have 4 M4s. No AWP in the hands. They've got to do something early on to just eliminate this kind of early pressure. And actually, ZQK is pushing up into halls with this AWP very, very quick. Silent smokes it off. But there goes Elite. Fur just runs right through the smoke. No respect. He's going to wrap on the A side. He's actually going to go into CT spawn. This could be huge.
It could be massive, because it would have been Justin that would have been caught, but instead he gets the kill. So that revitalizes the situation, because now he has a chance to join in on the retake as Method have mainline and Strebber also coming up middle, and they're going to completely catch off ZQK. He had no idea. He was actually still looking toward pit, because they don't have sight on the vision, I should say, on the site. So he still had to be picking toward pit, even though there's no one there. And Fallen at least gets Justin down in the end, so it brings it back to a 2-on-2. But that bomb's down inside the apartments, and Strebber and mainline are sitting up on either side of it. They need to be careful not to be overly predictable, though, because they do still have a smoke and a Molotov to pull them out of position. In fact, Fallen, this even gets even better. He just picked up a flashbang from the corpse that was at the top of mid. So if they hold predictable angles, there's a chance they'll be forced. But there's 30 seconds, and Keatstar have to get in to get this bomb soon.
Yeah, and Fallen setting up a pop flash into Boiler. That's going to let Bolts come up. Another smoke does go down. They're going to have to go through this. They're going to have to throw it. They can. They molly down the stairs. That's going to force mainline up. He's into the bedroom, but he gets the kill.
And mainline, he's going to get doubled up, because Fallen tried to spray through that smoke, realizing that someone had to be coming up the stairs eventually. Unfortunately, it was a bit late. That gave away his position and caused his teammate to go down. So Method pick up another round. Good rotation, and that kill on Speedway definitely helped from Justin, because that would have put us into a 4-on-2 rather than a 3-on-3.
Yeah, and that's just the no respect coming out, having 9 rounds, knowing they have a round to mess with, seeing if they can catch some people off guard, and they did catch Ali, but not able to grab Justin, like you said. But still, another full buy out of Keatstars. And a pistol on Ali. He doesn't have the money. And look at this aggressive B play. It's a triple push. Bolts finds the first one, but good trades. Eliminates it. Justin's stuck over at the sandbag. ZQK takes him out. B is wide open. They're going to smoke it off, and they're going to get into this site for a plant. Not even going to smoke it off. They're going to give him a chance to op, but he misses the shot. Almost catches him off guard.
Fallen gets the bomb plant down immediately behind the fountain. Out of the vision of the Method players. But it's Ely who still comes in and gets him after he goes to slide into Emo. Transition caught. ZQK goes back into Ely, and Silent has to flash into this smoke. at least hold them in the positions because he wants to get away and cross over before that exact situation, the op shot firing through. So he'll try desperately to run with this M4. The problem is he's got ZQK hot on his heels from CT, and Steel's already rotated into A. So he's in the library. We'll see if he's studied in the art of staying silent. His name might suggest it.
I mean, this is just the thing with Keatstars right now, is they're not really running anything. They're just kind of going to bully their way in a map control where they want it, whether it's up mid, whether it's over towards B. And they're being very efficient with how they traded that round. I mean, they just blew up a triple stack, only losing one player on the actual, because of that stack. I mean, a 3-for-1 trade for a triple stack at Banana is amazing.
Now it's double digits T-side Keatstars. We shouldn't be surprised. And it's round 15 with 5 7s and 1 M4 for Method. And that M4 is not only carrying the M4, but the only rifle, it's also carrying the only kit and all of the grenades. I shouldn't say all, but the majority of the grenades. As we only have 4 other flashes of smoke and a Molotov out on Justin. And Silent, though, he pushes down, so he's going to take good use of this M4. He actually gets aggressive, forces the hand, and now they've got the early pick. The problem is they know he's so far away from the site that they have a chance to rush in on A. And it has to be coming in from the retake on apartments. This gives it a bit of a telegram situation. His main line's already spotted up, but Silent comes back. He's actually going to get another one on Steel. Swaps over to the other M4 on the ground, doesn't have to reload. Method, though, just on the edge of the smoke, spots out Strebber as he comes through Arch, and Fur finds mainline. It's up to Justin and Silent, 2 on 3. Bombs down, nobody's in pit, and Silent's still checking that angle, so Fur's predicting it, he catches him, and now they know exactly where Justin is. Tech 9 through the smoke, it's gonna work. Fur God is a god. 18 kills for him in the first half, continuing on with his strong performance all season long, and it's 11 T-side for Keed.
Yeah, that was a little bit brutal there. Keatstar's just starting to run away with it, and then using all the confidence in the world. Just running through smokes there at the end and just focusing on trading. It works out really, really well for them, and some nice calls too. I mean, as soon as they noticed that Halls push, they executed up mid and they had it perfectly. They knew that rifle was going to have to fall back into Halls and either be balcony or boiler, so they just get into the site and watch all those spots. So pissed around here for Keatstars, and you could say it's important for Method, but really, I mean, this is just almost an insurmountable mountain for Method to climb here.
The last pistol round went to Keed, and we talked about how sloppy it was. It was actually misplayed by them, and Method still didn't collect it, so we'll see if they can improve on that this time. They are lurking with the bomb toward the top of alt mid into mid. In fact, they're going to go quickly. The 2 players from Banana come back around. They flash up. Strebber wants to get around the corner. He's already been spotted by First, so he goes for the jump to cross over and allow the second player to take the shot. The good news is they forced him back, but it looks like Method, they actually want to go right through CT. The problem is that there's 3 on that side of the map, and they've already been spotted by the First. So all they might potentially have done right now is trap themselves inside CT because they've yet to find Fall, and they are bulldozing forward, though, forcing the CTs back and closer to the site, so they will get there eventually. The rotation's already coming over, though. ZQK and Bolts are coming up from Banana, but they're all that are left. Steel does get dropped. Silent does the trick. Smoke's going to go out. Silent tries to buy more space. No, ZQK's getting forward on it. Has to go for the Glock shots through it and bails himself out, desperately jumping into the corner. And now it's up to his teammates to cover him off as they push through. So Method again in a good spot in a pistol. This time they have to close it out. Bolts goes for the peek over the cart. They do eventually get Silent. Now it's 2 versus 4. That is the first kill, believe it or not, for Keatstars, and they get a second one. ZQK finds Ely. They know there's one more in construction. He's going to push it through, but mainline catches him and Bolts 1 on 3. Not much he can do, or is there? He's got the first, but not a lot of time to work with, and no kit. It's not looking likely. In fact, the time has already gone so far that it's not going to happen, so mainline will close it out either way. And Method will start this half like they need to.
I mean, that was just a battle for Method to get the... I mean, Keatstars had so many opportunities to get some kills, whether it was... on that wrap side, he had 2 nice pop shots before falling back into arches before getting overrun, then down Speedway, couldn't connect with anything. So, I mean, the real thing was Keatstars had their chances to get some kills to whittle down that attack and allow the flank to be a little bit more helpful, but they just couldn't land him. So Method does pick it up. But once again, it's going to be this eco round from Keatstars. We've seen them be very, very effective, and they fully invest not only 2 players with armor, but they have, I mean, look at these Molotovs and these smokes that they have. They're going to use these to run down the clock very, very well.
Fur. He's waiting patiently right now in the cubby. He's got Bolts there to support. They do have a flashbang on both Bolts. Actually, I take that back, only on Bolts, none on Fallen. He's got the incendiary and the smoke. Fallen, though, look at this play from Steel. He's really close hugging the wall. Fallen tries to bait out the shot on Strebber. He doesn't come around the corner because that would have been an unwelcoming event from Steel. So it's really passive stuff so far to start off this round. Mainline eventually does come up, and there's the switch play. The bait out from Cubby, and then the slide from Bolts. He does get the kill, but Ely's going to bring it back. He's, though, traded it. He's brought it back to 3-on-3. They're doing more damage through the smoke. Eventually, Method have had enough of it. They're just going to run for cover and get inside the site, put this bomb down. We'll slide back out. Justin, nice shot. Catches Fallen through the edge of the door. Pops his head off, and now it's just 2 remaining for Keystars. They have picked up 1 Galil. It's in the hands of Fur. He's coming from the top of mid, and the secondary player from Ely's perspective has already dropped. He was coming from the apartments, but Strebber there, he's going to close it out. Mr. Roberts.
Yeah, that was almost really, really dangerous. Nice job by Method to, I mean, they were more than likely not expecting that many Molotovs and smokes to be thrown out during that execution, but they recover from it despite losing 2, and they win that 3-on-3 very nicely inside the bomb site. So Keystars almost make it work. That was actually a pretty cool strategy for them, keeping the mid smoked off and, you know, forcing them Method into a situation where they just ran through the smoke. It broke up the execute, and the Molotovs almost did the work, but it's pretty cool, very cool idea to see. And now look how patiently Method's taking this. They knew that trap was sprung on them very well, so now they're just not taking any chances, playing far back at the moment, waiting for anything to push, anything to show, any indication of what's going on with Keystars.
And ZQK, he's the only one over on B, where Strebber is going on the reconnaissance mission. If he can get information that bomb is still all the way down at the bottom of mid, Justin's just going to go back to grab it now. They could still head that direction, even though that all of them have got up top and middle. But there's still a bit of a passive trap. Like you said, it is another 4-man stack for Keystars. So it's a similar situation all over again, just simply from Strebber not pushing inside B. He hasn't seen anyone either. He hasn't spotted anyone at B, and he still hasn't gone forward to investigate it further. And here we go, in they are going to walk. It's going to have to be desperate play from Keystars and well-calculated. Bolts in Graveyard. They do have Steel in the back corner of the site, waiting patiently for someone to cross out as Ely finds Bolts. And Steel, he misses on the shot. He only gets the first on mainline far away, but up close, Justin rips him apart. And now the bomb will go down. Fur's coming in for a fast flank from top middle, but Justin's already got that covered. Silent may have dropped, but Method are going to bring this a little bit closer. 4 rounds now, the difference.
Yeah, and now because of that second round buy, as we always see, I mean, there's going to be pretty light utility, maybe not even a kit, and there's not one. So Keystar is going to have to try and force them, or prevent them from planning. ZQK might buy one. Nope, he goes for the head armor. So 4 smokes and a lot of flashbangs to utilize, but no kits on the side of the Brazilians. We'll have to see what Method has in store for their T side, how they're going to plan to execute. They've been playing it very, very passively. Now the deep smoke comes out at B, so they're doing the boost up. It's not with an AWP, it's with an AK, but they're going to try and find something. And they do. Strebber grabs Steel back at the car, so a nice pick for Method gives them an opportunity in the round.
Opportunity is all you need. You just have to seize it. We'll see if they can. ZQK, he's going to use that deep smoke, though, to try and push back down and get in a more aggressive position, or as he actually thinks better, falls back. He'll re-smoke it, though. That'll buy himself some more time, and as a result of this deep smoke, they can stack up the A with the other 3 remaining players because he'll be able to make the call. And he's going to have to make the call. Nade goes out toward him.
Fallen's playing support over here. If they hear these footsteps, he's going to pop flash for Fur, and it looks like he's doing it right now, so we'll see what this peek has to offer. Fallen does peek to Fur, peeks down mid. He does grab one. He can't get away, though. Justin trades him off immediately, but he's got the information. You can see the rotation already coming in.
ZQK is still waiting on B. It's going to be a 4-on-2 take, essentially, at A, because he's nowhere to be found. Actually, he's been patient, and they are heading back toward him, because they realize now that the flashes have come back out, the counter smokes are there. Problem is, they've used a lot of smokes as well. Fallen peeks mid. He realizes that no one's there. He knows this has to be B. So he'll at least be able to warn ZQK, but he's already heard them coming, and he's in a good spot. He takes one massive damage on the other, but mainline, he's still going to get this bomb in position. And now it's going to be Method holding on against 2 players, 2 Keystars players, and they're going to come from a split angle, and unfortunately, the divide does not work. Silence already put Bolts down, and that means Fallen, although he's already inside construction, has a massive task ahead of him, and he spams away, tries to bait out mainline with that initial shot, but he doesn't peek, and that's his invitation to walk away.
Yeah,
the problem is they know.
Yeah, he's got to do some damage. He's not getting away with his life here. They're going to stop it, so he's got to get some of these kills, hurt the economy. Does sprint on 1. Justin's very low. He grabs a second. Now he can run. Now he can try and salvage an AK after the bomb explodes, but a nice salvage there by Fallen, doing whatever he can. But a good round win from Method. I mean, they got that opening pick. And then they just kind of exploited. So much time to work with after that.
Well, Keydstars haven't found one yet in the second half. It's all been Method. The first gun round was no different. But we still do have a bit of a force coming out from Keydstars after saving that single FAMAS. They'll get an M4 out on Steel, FAMAS on Bolts, as well as Fur, and then it's going to be that lovely Mag 7 on Fall. And again, against Liquid, although it was Mirage, it was their CT side that was lacking. That's not surprising. They're just so good on their T side, but if they adjusted to this as well, if they adjusted their defense, they would be pretty unbeatable. Or at least a lot more unbeatable. Because now they've got to dig for this a bit. They've got to find an answer to those last couple rounds.
Well, here's the thing. Against Nile at the beginning of the season, they had 6 of 15 CT rounds, but look at this battle going on. Silent's going to come out on top, so there's falling down. Another opening kill for Method here. And no trade from Keydstars.
Bolts wants to try and get it, but Silent's already left. He's already checked out of the hotel and fallen back into the alleyway. But Bolts is sitting beside the truck, and he doesn't want to let it start so they can get further ahead. He's above and in the balcony. Strebber, nice response on Fur. That peek was actually looking hugely favorsome for Fur. Strebber wasn't looking at all, but he flicks back and reacts perfectly. Bolts underneath the edge of the smoke, though, does have vision on the rest of them falling off. Boiler, ZQK is going to come over and actually...
look at this fake.
This is perfect. Steel realizes it late, so he'll be there to contest on the entry, but it's only going to be him. And Method have another chance here. They're selling it perfectly right now to Keydstars. And Keyd need to find a way to get aggressive early and shut them down, although ZQK coming back over on the rotation does catch the bomb carrier Silent. That buys a bit of space for them to get back over and into position as Steel is also already here. There's a great response, though, in that initial trade, but mainline, he's going to do the rest of the work. Justin closing Steel, and Method now have 2 straight gun rounds.
Oh, how fortunate is Method. The bomb dropped in a crack behind the grill.
I just saw that at the end, too. That's crazy.
It was not able to get picked up, so they were just forced to swing out with only 7 seconds remaining. Nicely done from Method to grab their composure and swing it. Now this is kind of starting to get a little bit scary. What I was going to say was Keydstars against Ace Gaming only got, I believe it was, 6 of 11 on their CT side, or 6 of 15 versus Ace on their CT side of Inferno. Against Nihilum, on the other hand, they had 11 of 15, but their CT side is looking more like it did versus Ace, a little bit shaky. They're losing a lot of these early battles, and I mean, they haven't had a gun round yet where it's gone into a 5-on-5 or where they've had the advantage. Method's found the first kills in both of them.
Flashing over now to give Steel a bit of a shot. Literally and figuratively. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the kill, but he does do decent damage to Justin. He's down to 18, so Steel has to fall back inside the site. Bolt, he'll wait out on Arch. He's got the stat track P250. And Fallen gets flashed through the smoke, but little does he know there's fire on the opposing side. So a quick peek, a little bit of damage, and he falls back away, and it's going to be an A-take right now for Method. They're around the corner. Bolt needs to come out quickly. Fur, he's already traded one, but the response is strong from Method. The anti-eco looking solid, and it's going to conclude that way. And it's 1 round the difference after being 11-4 at halftime.
Yeah, 6 rounds straight on this T side for Method. And finally, okay, so here's the first best buy that Keydstars have. Double up setup, ZQK, Fallen, both pick up the AWP. This is going to be their chance to get back in this match. This is going to catch Method a little bit off guard. And when you're getting punished by early kills, picking up these ops and finding some angles, trying to find an avenue to get a first kill yourself is huge, especially because there's no AWP on the side of Method to contest it.
Mainline gets spotted too. In Mexican, ZQK is going to grab him, so now they have a chance to push through. No smoke out. Fallen takes advantage of that. He finds Strebber. Now they'll smoke, flash it, and do everything defensively. So ZQK, or rather, excuse me, Fallen takes advantage of that. And both ops already the ones with the opening picks. This looks good. This is exactly why this buy is a huge threat for them.
Yeah, and that puts position in now where the offense is so spread out. Elise forced to try and make some kind of a play. The op still raining fire over at B. Fallen picks one up, but it's just been off the back of those 2 ops. They've found basically 4 individual kills, and now it's just a 1-on-5. Justin, he hears him pushing down mid, so he's going to try and throw a smoke as a fake. It works. He does spray down Fur. Eats a lot of damage for it, but now where does he go from here? Fallen's got to be careful. Can't lose this AWP. He does it. Hits a nice shot through the brackets. Through the pillars, excuse me. Nicely done from Keydstars, and that op switch up on their defense worked very, very well. Now it's up to Method. What kind of response are they going to have? How are they going to battle this double op?
I mean, that's the big thing. What is the response? It's going to be 5 AKs. But they just got completely obliterated on positioning that they formerly could get when the buy wasn't there. It was passive, so they could walk up Banana. They could get to that corner. Now they get an op shot that comes out from ZQK, or rather from Fall, and ZQK get the one down mid. The map control doesn't exist when these guns are out for Keithstar, so they have to play more methodical, no pun intended, and actually try and get position and work for position. And so far, that's not going to be the case, as Bolts, he's already found 2, and Fergod, he's got 1. There's the op. It's already into this round as well. Mainline down, and it's left to Justin, 11 HP. And it looks like they'll be right back on a save after this, too, because they bought heavily into this second round after the loss.
Yeah, this could be where their run ends. Looking a little bit magical for quite some time, but the AWPs from Keithstars have just shut this down. And so much time, a minute left. Justin's got 11 HP. They're going to hunt this down eventually. There's no way they let him save this, right on the edge of a save round for Method. But actually, that round was won by Bolts with 2 kills in the hulls. He bailed ZQK out of a really, really tough spot very well. They set up a nice bait and switch, and Bolts executes it perfectly.
So is Justin going to save the AK? That's the question, because he is actually still in a tough spot. There's 32 seconds, so he re-peaks, and unfortunately that was ill-advised. 13 Keithstars. Again, they do it on their T side. They give themselves that 11 rounds, because any other situation, any other team, or standard, Inferno play, and they're playing from behind now on the CT side. Instead, they still have the lead. Again, even if they limit them to 8, we'd be a tie game right now.
Yeah, good point there. I mean, yeah, they look shaky in both these matches against Mousepaz and Method. I really expect them to look a lot better against 2 teams that are struggling at the bottom of the league. And they're very fortunate. I think this is play against some of the better teams that they would have been more heavily punished for.
That was bizarre, actually. I could have sworn I saw a dink come out against ZQK. I saw the animation on my screen, but yet he has no damage done. He only lost 3 HP. So I don't know if that bullet went through something and lost all its penetration or damage, but I have to look back at that. I could have sworn I saw him get dinked. Either way, Silence found his way inside the apartments. Flash does come out, so they have some sort of read. In fact, he gets a little antsy and fires at the wall, thinking they're going to push on the back of that. They don't. Now they just know he's there, but Keithstars, they've already got 2. Strebber's found only 1. And Bolts has gone past Justin, but how does he know? How does he turn back? The awareness is sharp. He turns around and realizes Justin was, in fact, waiting there. And he'll get the kill. Steal at the corner on Tree, though. He'll pop back out, dodging the first flash like a master. Mainline, he's the only one left. And look at this, the ops behind him. And ZQK takes his time to line up the shot. That's 3 players remaining and 14 rounds now for Keithstars.
Yeah, and there's been no I mean, here's the best chance. It's going to be Ali with an AWP, but he wasn't competing with ZQK in the first half. He was losing that op battle when Keithstars had it on their terrorist side. So now he's trying to try and make something happen, because these AKs, they're trying to do some fast strategies to force the ops out of position and kind of catch them into a rotation, but it hasn't been working. They're going to do this boost again, but ZQK's going to have an op on it. That's an easy kill. I mean, if you buy an op, there's no reason to not have your op boosted. Justin just eats one for no reason.
So again, early damage. Look at Silent. He wants to come down, Bolts. He's just going to wait. And Ely actually responds back. Bolts comes down, so that's the player that was outside Boiler. That gives Silent a bit of space right now. If they know that, they can work on it, because Steel, he's back toward Pit. Fortunate thing for Keithstars is they stacked up on the A site based on ZQK's positioning in Banana and the fact that they couldn't get past him on that initial boost. So they still have someone to cover off for the deficit, and they'll go back to more of a default. First going to play underneath the patio, and ZQK is still just being an absolute menace, wreaking havoc in Banana. Fer has to fall back, does have the support inside, so it's a trade on mainline, does have the support inside the pit from Steel, and Fallen now gets back off Arch immediately after that kill to cover his teammates. So they're just supporting each other one after the other right now, and they've got the man advantage.
Yeah, they're supporting each other, but 2 Method players so far apart. This is all going to come down to these individual battles that they can find until they group up. With 25 seconds left, they're going to head over towards B, it looks like. That's going to be against the op of ZQK, and he's been playing so impressively since he picked this up. Keithstar's really trusting him to lock down that Banana avenue of attack for the terrorists, and he's done it very, very well. Here comes the smoke.
Smoke does come out. ZQK flashing himself back, has to stay hidden inside construction. Trevor goes for the plant. Silent gets aggressive because he has to hold the angle and allow that plant to come in, and he gets more than just the angle. He gets the kill. So that brings us back to 2-on-2, and Silent, he's gonna get aggressive again. He pushes through the smoke, he already spots up Fallen, and he hits the shot. No mistake made, and he hits another. What a great round from him. Second time we've seen an individual performance from him, and now Method get a little room to breathe. They get their 11th, and there's still money for Keydstars, but they're not on match point just yet.
Yeah, Silent, I mean, great shots from him. He really takes advantage of the fact the mistake from ZQK there. Just stay alive. Wait for your teammates to rotate. Wait for that retake to come in. And that's going to be something when they review this demo that they look at, and they're like, you need to stay alive here, because after that, it all fell from there. Silent was given so much map control, so confident to be incredibly mobile in that situation. He finds 3 easy kills, but it's back to the double up, and this is a huge round for Method. They could break the economy of Keydstars here, and this late in the half, that would be absolutely huge.
Justin jumping around the corner, making sure he's not going to get caught in a similar fashion to Ely, and he'll now swap out, grab the op that was dropped. As Fallen again on this double op setup's going to win the B fight, and I thought Justin had the angle there, and Fallen somehow pulls the trigger and gets it. And now Steel's found mainline. Finally, Silent will come back in. He does lead the way for his team now with that kill, 21. Strebber's second with 20, and Strebber's the only one left, so he has a chance to tie it, but it's not going to happen. It's ZQK. You should have made a prediction that he'd have a frag movie on this map, because him and Fur are at the top of the board.
Yeah, I said him and Fur last map, and they were both at the bottom, and then this map they're both on top. So bad luck for me, I guess.
From Moses.
Yeah, right. I'm kind of surprised after that. Those awesome shots that Silent had with the AWP to close out that last round, that he gave it right back to Ali, and then when Ali dies, Justin picked it up. I'm kind of amazed that they just didn't give it to Silent after that kind of after the show that he put on with it.
Fallen slides back a little bit, but already it's all going on at Banana, and Method's actually won the trades. They might have lost 2, but they got the only 2 holding the site, so they can smoke off CT now, get a bomb plant down, and they've got position. So it's up to Keydstars to play through this, and Fur's going to do exactly that through the smoke. He'll take down Ely. He has another one to deal with on the front of construction when he gets there at Spools, but Justin's going to get Fallen, bring back and even up the situation. And it's calm waters. But a wind and a storm brewing. Bolts, though, he'll find Strebber, and it's now down to the one remaining player who's trying to come back from Banana, and unfortunately he has to go too far through the fire. He got the first, and he would have had the angle on the defuse, but had to push because he would have been held out for far too long, and as a result, that's how it's going to end.